If anyone has not subscribed to our channel yet, subscribe now. Click the bell icon next to it and put it in all. You can watch all the latest videos I post without missing them. Welcome back to VJsDeepDives, where we go beyond the headlines and uncover the hidden truths shaping our world. 66 million years ago, that day was very peaceful. All the living beings were living very happily. Dinosaurs were happily roaming on the earth, eating other living beings around them and enjoying life very happily. The sun was also very normal and peaceful. Fish and all the other living beings in the sea were also enjoying life happily in the deep blue water. They had no idea that a big danger was about to come. So they were very happy. There were small mammals with their family members. They all came out of the holes inside the earth and were playing very comfortably. They were enjoying the weather with their friends. Suddenly, everything changed in an instant and the world they were all enjoying completely ended. Let's find out why in this video today. So why is there no more? Let's get into the video. 66 million years ago, the history of our Earth was completely changed. A large asteroid about 20 kilometers wide, or to put it simply, twice the size of Mount Everest, hit the Earth. It was traveling at a speed of 12 miles per second, not just a minute. It was traveling at a speed of 12 miles per second, which is about 40 times the speed of sound. As soon as it hit the Earth, huge tsunamis hit the Earth. Fires were everywhere. Every part of the continent was on fire. 70% of all living things on Earth were completely wiped out. This is why the dinosaurs died out. It completely changed our planet. Where did this asteroid fall? It fell in the Yucatan Peninsula. It created a huge explosion in that area. In fact, it created one of the largest impact craters known to us on Earth, measuring 93 miles in diameter. It fell just outside of what is now modern-day Chicxulub, Mexico. That's why everyone calls this event the Chicxulub impact, and the crater itself is also called the Chicxulub crater. Some estimates suggest that the energy created when the impact occurred was between 2 and 50 yotta-joules. However, some are starting to believe that a yotta-joule is a septillion joules, which is a very heavy level of energy created. And we can't simply say a yotta-joule because you know how many numbers are there after a 1. A yotta-joule is 24 zeros. All the joules of energy were created. So, simply put, to put it simply, the energy created at that time when the atomic bomb fell on Hiroshima was 40 billion times greater than what was created at that time. It is not easy to say it more simply than this. 1 billion means 100 crores, so 4,000 crores times more energy was created. If we compare it with that atomic bomb, when this impact fell, that much energy was created on the Earth in a single moment. So basically, up until then, there was the Cretaceous period, which lasted for about 80 million years. That means from 145 million years ago to 66 million years ago, that Cretaceous period existed, but when this asteroid hit the Earth, that era was completely extinct. You can see that a new era has been created, and what kind of era is that? It started with complete deaths. It started with destruction. It started with the formation of large craters. It started with the burning of forests. It started with the extinction of dinosaurs. Whatever happened to this Chicxulub impact, new species of living beings also started to form. That is, how big was that blast? What happened at an extreme level means that they all flew into the air at once, meaning that those rocks went back into outer space from the Earth at a very high level, and because of that, our magnetic field, our ozone layer, all of these were also disturbed to a great extent. And whatever rocks went up, they all came down again at a very high speed and hit the Earth. Due to that impact, this impact was even greater. So it could be the material that came from that asteroid, or it could be the material that came from the Earth. It fell not only in that one area but also on different areas and affected different areas. Do you know how big each rock is? Each rock is about the size of a 30 to 40-story building. So based on that, we can understand what its impact will be when it falls again somewhere else. So when all of these things fall in many areas, many disasters and consequences are created, and a mega tsunami was created immediately. It reached a height of 330 feet at that time, and it completely submerged all the areas of Mexico, Texas, Florida. The luckiest part here is that whatever water is in the Gulf of Mexico, it is very shallow. If the asteroid hits the Pacific Ocean, then the tsunami will reach a height of about 5 kilometers. So it is very much high. If that tsunami did come, We cannot even think about how many thousands of miles it will go forward. But did it stop here? It is not. After that, the destruction continued to increase and continue. Due to this, many people died immediately. In fact, recently, while checking some soil samples in New Jersey, some fossils were found. That area is about 5,000 kilometers from the impact site. km distance, but they also died immediately in that area, so there was a big mass extinction immediately. Millions of species died, but when it comes to dinosaurs, no one knows whether they died immediately or after a few weeks, but definitely dinosaurs died because of this incident. That is, when the asteroid hit the Earth, it went very deep inside the Earth, its impact, and after a moment, superheated dust, ash, steam, all these were completely released outside. Didn't they all come out of the crater? This is called ejecta. So they went into the Earth's atmosphere, and the impact site has a very large amount of sulfur in the rocks there. This sulfur was vaporized immediately, so due to that, the entire surface was covered in a sulfate haze. It was created and started to spread. So due to this, the environmental conditions on Earth became very bad for a few years, meaning that the living organisms on Earth could not breathe and suffocated. That is, most of them died. And the situation that was created at that time is called impact winter. That is, dust, ash, sulfur haze, all three of these came into the atmosphere and completely blocked the sun and caused the winter to continue for about 10 years. So if the winter continued for 10 years and there was still no sunlight, where would photosynthesis take place? Where would the food chain or plants or all these things survive? So even if the dinosaurs did not die immediately but they survived to some extent, they would die very easily later due to these situations, because food, the chain, is very, very important. If it is not there, no one can survive. It can be animals or humans. It can be anyone. So we feel like every year, it is a winter thing and it lasts for 3 or 4 months. Who will not die during that time? And then why did all these things die? I mean, I am saying this. It has been there for a decade. So there is no sun. If there is no sun, there is no real light. So no plants grow. Everything dies. Animals or plants die. If there are no small creatures, if small creatures die, they will eat them, or all the big creatures will die. So every living thing on Earth also started dying. Food is not just scarce. It has completely disappeared. But after that, did the situations get better? It is not that. Because of this impact, many volcanoes on Earth were completely blasted and particles and gases from them were also completely released. They entered the Earth's climate and they had a lot of poisonous snow. This poisonous snow spread all over the world. For many years, the oceans became acidic. The air was no longer breathable. Plants, animals, air to breathe, food to eat, nothing at all. Everything died completely. So, the animals that died on the day of the impact were actually very lucky because they did not suffer so much. They died in a single stroke of direct attack. This is not the case for these animals. They experienced hell and died. This means that nature actually took revenge on them. If you compare it with other animals, then the weather gradually started to warm up a little. These volcanoes also released carbon dioxide. So once all the impact particles had evaporated, the CO2 from the atmosphere was, so what was left was obviously some greenhouse effects due to this CO2. Due to this, a greenhouse effect was created. So automatically, the planet started warming up again, and these life forms, some of which were already alive, slowly started coming to the surface. That is, some living things went inside the Earth and survived. That is, not in the middle of the Earth, but some living things hid under the soil and ate small insects that were moving around in that area. And some plants also survived in that area by eating them. And some animals survived. In the same way, all those living things that survived slowly started coming out. Some animals are able to generate their own heat from their bodies. They have a greater chance of survival. Some animals cannot generate their own heat from their bodies. Their chances of survival were a little low, but during this warming period, new fertile habitats began to be created all over the world. That is, new organisms began to be born from those organisms that survived. So this new Earth is very different. If you compare it to before, dinosaurs, predatory birds, reptiles, these were more abundant and these were the ones that dominated the food chain. But now the situation is not like that. Mammals are increasing and living very happily. So finally, what we see today is the beginning of the Earth version. Then finally, although there have been theories about the impact for many decades, It was only recently that these chicks discovered it. In 1978, a person named Glenn Pinfield, a geophysicist, and a person named Antonio Camargo, both of them are working for a Mexican oil company called Pemex, and as part of that, they were doing an airborne magnetic survey in the Gulf of Mexico to find possible locations for oil drilling. At that time, they found a particular area with onshore gravity anomalies, which were very large. So when they saw them, they were a little surprised. They went to that area and studied it in more detail. It looked like an impact crater. At the same time, a Nobel Prize-winning geologist named Luis Alvarez was also studying the area. His son, Walter, was also studying the chemicals in the soil in the area. What they found was that there was a lot of iridium in that area at that time, about 65 million years ago. Dating tests have shown that some people think that Captain America's shield was made with iridium, but it's not. It's vibranium. Iridium is a very, very rare element on Earth. It's very common in meteoroids. So when a meteoroid hits Earth, there's a chance that iridium will spread in that area. So then they had a doubt. Okay, a large asteroid hit something in this area. Due to this, an impact crater was created here. That's why iridium was found here. So then they also thought that this era was created. And the same iridium was found in different areas on Earth and in very large amounts. So then we already talked about it. When it hit Earth, all the pieces of it flew into the air and fell in different areas. They also impacted in different areas. When the study was done, iridium was also found there, so it was found that way. So, very large amounts of quartz grains were also found, and all of this is when shock waves are created, especially when some explosions are created. So by 1990, scientists finally confirmed that this massive creature has always been on Earth and that it had an impact on us in this area, and that is why the dinosaurs became extinct. But of course, I still say the same thing. Did the dinosaurs become extinct the day it hit, or did they become extinct a few weeks or months later? We don't know exactly, but it definitely became extinct because of it. If that is confirmed, it may be that they died because of that impact winter. We can't guess exactly. But until that day, everything was fine until that moment, but suddenly, everything has changed, everything has been destroyed, it has become a nightmare, absolute horror situations have been created in that area. Look at that area recently, there was a big earthquake in Thailand. No one expected that we would see such kind of situations in places like Thailand and Myanmar, but it happened and a lot of damage was caused because of it. So what we need to understand now is that our existence is very fragile, that is, we can leave this earth at any time, whether it is because of something that happens to us naturally or because of accidents. Oh no, that is not it. What I am saying is that we can also leave this earth due to things like these asteroids. Now, there are millions of asteroids in our solar system. Some of them are small, some are big, but some are about 1,000 kilometers in diameter, which means that they are many times bigger than asteroids. In fact, our solar system there are about 2 million asteroids larger than 1 kilometer in the system. If an asteroid of 1 kilometer were to hit the Earth, it would completely destroy a large city like New York or Mumbai. Such cities would be completely wiped out. So there is no doubt that this could happen again. Because if we look at the whole history, mass extinctions have always existed. 250 million years ago, a major mass extinction occurred. 90% of all living things on Earth became extinct. At that time is called the Great Dying because everything died. So these meteoroids keep trying to impact the Earth from time to time. But some of them miss. That means that sometimes they come close to us and then miss. But the question here is, how can we stop them? NASA has been trying to do this for a long time. It has been trying to stop them for many years, but why is it that in July 2019, an asteroid passed by Earth from just 45,000 miles away? That asteroid's name is also Asteroid 2019. It passed by Earth from just 45,000 kilometers away on July 25th. So it is very, very problematic, and it also goes very fast. It actually goes at a speed of 90,000 kilometers per hour. So if it hits the Earth, it will create so much energy that it will create 30 times more energy than the atomic bomb dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So obviously all the cities will be destroyed. So in August 2020, an asteroid will also be very, very big, almost the size of a truck. It passed by Earth from just less than 3,000 kilometers away, which means it passed closer than most satellites. That is, We have so many opportunities that these asteroids will hit the Earth at any time so that civilization will end, whether it is due to war, disease, or climate change. Sometimes these asteroids can also be the cause. But for now, we have the technology to divert the trajectory of these asteroids. But how many can we divert? Now, if 100 asteroids come, if 1,000 asteroids come, we do not have enough technology to divert all of them. But we do have something to do. But that is also a very costly project. And for that, all the countries in the world will have to cooperate. Because now NASA, I will divert it. Okay, that's fine. But it won't fall on me. It will fall on another country. Why should I divert it? Now, why should I spend money and save you from being destroyed? Then he asks, then they should also give money. Otherwise, the whole world should take up a project together. Things like this also happen, so because of that, at the end of the day, if you want to stop these, you can stop them, but they will also do politics around it. Let's see what happens in the future. So that's it, guys. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon to be notified of future uploads. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.